Many of you, I'm sure, have been seeing posts about the RSI. This is a slower moving momentum oscillator to really just illustrate how oversold or undervalued or overvalued something is, right? In this case, this is a Bitcoin chart, but we can really just apply this to crypto in general. Bitcoin has hit this oversold area that has historically just been one of the lowest areas it's ever been. I mean, the last time it hit this low was back at the COVID dip. Look at that. Now, I want to discuss something in this video, and that is to say, we see Bitcoin bottoming out on this price chart back here and just kind of going, I don't want to say parabolic, but it's a very strong move for Bitcoin. Same thing happened here and actually hitting oversold on the RSI at this moment, going up again, bottoming out. It's a higher low on the price chart, going up. And here we are right now. Are we bottoming out of this insanely oversold area, getting ready for a move to the upside? This video isn't about that's definitely going to happen, but I want to discuss the case for it in this video. It has to do with the US dollar currency index chart. So please hit the subscribe, hit the like on the way in. And before we even get to that, everybody, I just want to go over something. I tweeted this a little bit earlier. I said, recession or not, the markets are not the economy. If you're waiting for a recession to try and time the bottom, you're making a mistake. And I got this comment from Tim, and I'm probably going to do a more in-depth video on this, but he wrote, it's a 4-year cycle. Look to the past to find the bottom. And if you just go to a weekly chart, it really becomes very clear, the consistency of Bitcoin. I talk about this a lot. And again, I'm gonna post a video about this probably more in relation to the potential of a recession, whether we're in a recession now, recession next year. I want to post a video discussing this. But just look at this. If we can try and figure out, right, what's going to happen next, and nobody knows, there's no definitive way to do this. Nobody can predict exactly what's going to happen. But if you look at history for data and context, we just see what has been going on, right? It's just bear market low, accumulation area, halving, bull market, right? Bear market low, accumulation, halving, bull market, bear market low, accumulation area, halving, bull, like it's just on repeat. And right now we're in accumulation area. And I just want to point that out. And that is, there's a purpose for that. I'm going to do a longer video on this particularly. But the reason for bringing that up in this video is the very fact that we're in accumulation area. And what that means is while we wait for the next halving and we wait for all these different things to drop, there's so many different news angles and narratives from a macroeconomic standpoint. It really, on the short term, though, you and I really do care. Hit the like button if you do care and you're watching these things. If you're still out there and you do care, like me, we're watching, but it really doesn't matter if we're up or down in this accumulation phase. And I say that because we're going to be talking about the next move for Bitcoin. And so if we're talking about downside or upside, just keep in mind the more important picture. That's this chart, the zoomed out macro. So let's do this. Let's go over here to this chart. It's kind of like we have been putting in these higher lows, right? It's been very nice. Swing high, swing high, swing high. Now what has happened though? This swing low really just got tested, right? So this right here is not so much a higher low anymore. We had this consolidation, higher low, and now it's not a higher low, but it is definitely a consolidation into some crazy oversold. So what's the next move? I think one of our biggest hints is actually over here on the US dollar currency index. Now, to give you an idea of how these two kind of operate together, just look at this. We look at this Bitcoin chart, which is right here. This is a daily Bitcoin chart. We see arrows pointing up. And these red boxes, right, they are placed on the same time frame on Bitcoin as we have over here on the US dollar currency index. So on Bitcoin, we see we're really starting to break up in this red box, right? That first red box. US dollar currency index, what's happening? Well, it's breaking down, right? So US dollar currency index falling, Bitcoin going up. This isn't always exactly how it works, but it is extremely helpful and consistent. US dollar currency index, the second box, this is kind of March over into April area, falling. What's Bitcoin doing in the second box? It's going up, right? And look at this, right to the top, then it starts consolidating. How about this third box on Bitcoin? We're looking at right around May to July, Bitcoin up. And what's happening on US dollar currency index on the third box? Down. So here's the case for Bitcoin to either fall or to see another leg up. Let's start with a leg up. It's very simple. If you look at the US dollar currency index, check it out. It's approaching overbought. Historically, especially in this story that we've just started telling, historically, it's falling out of this kind of general vicinity, right? So US dollar currency index becoming overbought, starts consolidating, and this is when Bitcoin's going up, right? We're on a US dollar currency index chart, by the way. Approaching overbought, puts another leg up. You can see the bearish divergence right here, but starts falling. And that was the case for Bitcoin to start moving up. And then same thing back here. This obviously was already in a downtrend on the RSI. It was already well overbought over here in 2022, just in a downtrend though, right? So now we're looking to see if, once again, as it's approaching overbought, are we going to start seeing US dollar currency index fail? First thing I want to mention is we could see this chart continue to go higher, right? And we might start seeing some type of bearish divergence on this chart. And this could take some time, right? And to give you an idea, something like this, right? Approaching overbought, consolidates, one more leg up. Approaching overbought, consolidates, one more leg up on the chart. However, bearish divergence, that could be something we're looking for. But notice that this could take like a week, right? From where we are right now. This isn't like an overnight thing, but either way, this could be the case for in kind of the shorter term, meaning days to a week or so. This could be the case where Bitcoin, whether it's sideways, whether we actually just kind of trickle down a little bit, this could be the case where Bitcoin pops to the upside if US dollar currency index does make that move down and starts falling like it did previously. Boom, 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 right? If we get something like that, boom, that could be the case for Bitcoin to move to the upside in the short term. Now, here's kind of an uglier version of this chart, and all it takes is a trend line, and that is to say we take a trend line from back here where this red rectangle begins, and we just plot out these lower highs on the US dollar currency index, and check it out. You can just see this chart breaking above this trend line, right? And this is on a daily chart breaking above that trend line. If this chart somehow gets a meaningful breakout to the upside of higher highs and higher lows, and there can be volatility there, right? But if this actually just starts breaking out to the upside, this is the case for Bitcoin to very simply just fall, right? And again, that could be the very case that we see Bitcoin falling to the target of around $21,000, $22,000 to the downside that we've been talking about, right? This rising wedge, $21,000, $22,000 to the downside is a target. That's something that could take some time. It could be sideways. Finally, the US dollar currency index really starts just kind of taking off, and then boom, and then US dollar currency index maybe finally topping out, starts retracing, and Bitcoin gets its bounce. This could be the case for the true Bitcoin bottom within this longer term accumulation area, right? We might see the case where Bitcoin just trickling down and falling, and that could be the story right there. But these are just some things I'm trying to analyze and I'm trying to watch for, as Bitcoin absolutely does nothing on this hourly chart for a week. And we don't know what the next move will be, but these are some things, this is just one thing I should say that plays into what might be next for Bitcoin price. And to me, it makes sense. And I'm just anticipating all things so that I'm prepared either way, to the downside, to the upside, though I would enjoy upside way more. I'm sure many of you would as well. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below, what you think the next move for Bitcoin is. Look at this chart, everybody. I can't even believe I'm doing this video. Tracking this. Bitcoin, what's the next move? We'll see. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.